Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SYPHA the Dizon.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
How you feeling, brother?
Chilling, chilling, chilling.
Another beautiful day. Another beautiful day. Blessed.
Yes, God bless. Toast up, toast up, toast up.
Yeah, first, man, we just want to toast. First joint we doing together, man. Brother for life. You know the vibes. Toast to the successes we all had this year. The crib. Everything. You know what I mean? Love you, big bro. You already know the vibes. Toast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, first things first. You know, your boy went viral first time. I didn't go, but one of my videos went viral.
Congratulations.
Give you know what I mean?
Congratulations.
Good looking.
Shout out to you for going viral.
First one, first joint.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know nobody that's viral, so that's you, brother. Special shout out to you.
It's big. Me
viral.
either. You know what I mean? That's big. That's big for both of us. You know, it was something that was a good situation, but the topic was crazy. The topic, it was more for the ladies, and you know,
and that's crazy.
We do know the game.
Yes, for sure.
We do know the game, and this situation was more of a what I posted on this was, I'm glad that we have someone out here educating our black men and women on a bigger picture they don't see. When you're a deeper thinker, you see shit from a different perspective. And it was a video. I'm gonna play the video right now so you guys can see it.
This is some of everything that we have done or that we do daily that contributes to the breakup of our relationship, the destruction of our man, and the failure of our children to be able to function. They did not tell us that all of that, being my own person and I'm independent, would lead to separation, loneliness, celibacy, and lesbianism. They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on because everybody wants to pretend that this is not going on. You know, over 60% of our women are single, widowed, separated, or divorced. They don't have a man.
All right, so you saw the video. It was basically explaining how women have used the narrative of having their own money and having their own car and having their own place to say, I don't need a man, which we don't understand because, like the lady said in the video, is that never had nothing to do with having no man. And it went viral. A lot of people had, I have over 55,000 likes. First post I ever had that had over 55,000 likes. It had about 600, let me see, to right now, it's 656,241 views at this point.
So you
know what I mean?
You passed
and
over
I just got,
500,000.
I wanted to thank all my new followers. I'm at 21.6 right now. Thank you so much for following me. I appreciate that you're spending the time out to wanting to, you know, have that connection with me in life and, you know, just having that connection with us. And subscribe to my boy, follow my boy SYPHA. I'm gonna have him down in the link as well. You know, he getting his joint up. He wasn't on social media before, but now he on it and we gotta get him popping. So follow my man down in the description. It's gonna be there. Also his YouTube page. But yeah, so you saw, you heard it.
Let me. I just want to say, I want to make a good valid point. It's interesting because I know you for a long time.
Long time, bro.
It's interesting how the post that got you viral was like the deep thinking post, right? And not only that, you a male, but the post that got the most traction was the one that spoke about women and independent women movement and how that may be creating issues within the black family. I thought that was super interesting that the post on your social media that got the most views had that kind of content matter. I was just a little taken back because, I mean, we guys, we men, and you know, that's us kind of voicing an opinion to the females out there, and for that post to kind of generate that type of traction, just kind of shows how relevant that is, and maybe from your perspective, right? Because you Showtime, right? Like, you know, you a showboat, life of the party.
Facts.
But from that point of view, I thought maybe it's the concept of they want to hear your perspective on these type of topics, and I thought that was just super interesting because, you know, I don't know if that's the kind of content, and let me ask you this, is that the type of content on your page that gets the most views, those type of videos?
Nah, not usually.
Interesting.
And this was one of those videos where I don't usually post stuff like that, but you know, since everything that's been going on right now, and you know, our black women feeling that they were unprotected and just so undervalued, I was like, you know what, it's time for me just to, you know, post stuff. I always posted stuff about the ladies, and you know, I love my black women, so for me, I always posted kinda, but not in this kind of lane where it's like, hey, we gotta fix this generation because we're depleting. They didn't say that, you know, all of these things like you saw in the video, that this would lead us into being single, and over 60% of our black women being single or widowed. So for me, it was a heavy topic. When I heard the message, I said, you know what? I heard it on Facebook. I said I had to transfer it over to Instagram and share it with my people.
Copy. But nah, real talk, that video.
Yeah, let's talk about, first of all, what do you think about the video?
So, you know, first, let me just say the images for me was one of the most shocking things, because not for nothing, when I first saw that post on your page, the first thing that I was thinking about was the images. You saw the image of the lady holding the baby while she's smoking the
cigarette. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the lady twerking on top of the kid. Like, it's other images of kind of women doing different things, but almost like laissez-faire, or they don't really care too much about the image. So it's like a lot of these visuals that when you see on social media, you kind of be like, damn, like, why is Shorty doing something like this on camera? I kind of was thinking like, the visuals caught me. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't think I really even listened to the video. I think I first saw it, I just saw the visuals, and I was like, what the hell is this? That's the first thing that kind of popped in my head. And when you told me that the video was catching traction, and you was like, yo, this video is moving, it's getting lots of views, and you told me to listen to the content, when I heard it, I was like, in my mind first, I was like, who this person speaking? And I was like, you know what, that's a dope point that she's making.
By the way, everybody keeps asking that, so let me just hit that on the nose real quick. Everybody keeps asking who that is that was speaking, and her name is, pardon me if I mispronounce this, Shahrazad Ali.
Oh, you don't, hold on, you disrespectful, my brother. So I'm more of a conscious person than you, but Shahrazad Ali is a
I said that right. I said that right.
Shahrazad Ali. Okay. Yeah. She's a very you know, famous public conscious figure. So within the conscious community, Shahrazad Ali is one of those women that kind of stand up and talk about black liberation. You know, and I think, you know, now in hindsight, yeah, because I didn't even know that was her that was actually talking. You know, because she's all over on the web. You know, there's a lot more content by her.
She's just not on Instagram. I was looking for her, trying to tag her.
She's an older person, right? So she's not coming from that generation of
social media,
Instagram, the social media generation. But she's super conscious. She's in a lot of documentaries. She's one of those pro-black women that speaks a lot about black empowerment. So it makes sense, because I think also when, you know, you asked me my first thoughts of the video, one of the things I was thinking about was, it's a woman talking about women in a way that it's trying to be empowering, but it could sound like a little disparaging towards females, in, you know, black females in a lot of ways, or in a way.
That's why
I just thought that was a dope concept.
It wasn't a man speaking about it. It was a woman speaking on women having these issues, because she feels that, hey, this is an issue that we have to, and that's from a woman's point of view. So when I heard it, I'm glad you know her, and I'm glad, you know, she is a conscious person, and we all gravitate to her, because as soon as I heard her, I felt the instant grab towards her, and I just like, yes, I love this lady. She sounds so wonderful. The way she was speaking real, and she just giving it to me real. I love the way she gave it. the message. And
Yeah,
when I was
she's
speaking,
dope.
when I heard that, that's why I put it on my page instantly. And within 4 days, actually, what was that? 5 days? Now it's up to 650 something thousand views, and I guess everybody gravitated towards that right now, especially what we're going through right now. Everybody, I call it the Megan Thee Stallion era. I love Megan Thee Stallion, don't get me wrong, but everybody's about the bag, and and the Cardi B's, of course, about the bag. Everybody's about what are you doing for me, not building the family and trying to get to know somebody, trying to get to know their personality. I haven't heard that kind of stuff in a long time. It's what do you do? What do you drive? How big is your house? Shit like that. That's what I hear now. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
So we run in two different communities. Let me be clear. So little bit of disclaimer.
That's
right?
a fact. That's a fact.
We not in the same type of circles,
Yes,
but
okay.
I know what you're talking about. So I don't believe that women are just. I've never had a woman ask me what I drive. I think, to be honest, I really don't think I've ever had a woman ask me that. But
Never?
nah, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I never had a woman ask me what I drive or what my crib looked like or screen me out for that. I think I'm a good judge of character, and I kind of peep game, like you was mentioning. Like we be watching and peeping game, so. And I know the vibe is in certain environments. Now, don't get it twisted. I could be out there dressed a certain type of way and get a certain type of attention, but I have a dominant personality to the point where I don't think nobody's walking up to me and in the middle of a conversation and asking me what do I drive. Maybe there's another environment for that, because I do believe there's an environment where, it's ballers and high rollers in the place, and women may be judging dudes off of that, but that's super crazy to me. If a woman comes up to me and asks me what I drive, I'll probably curse her out. Keep it a bean. I'll probably curse her out. I'll probably look at her like she's weird because I don't know. People don't talk to me like that. So people not talking to me like that. So I've never had a woman come up to me and ask me about any of my assets or what I own.
All right, so let me break it down. Let me stop there real quick, Syph, and let me break it down to the viewers. What Syph is saying on that type of vibe when it comes to me and him is I'm flashy. I like to show shit. I like, you see the earrings. I like, I like shit. I like the diamonds. I like the nice bling watch. I look a certain way when I go out. I usually have my chains on. Y'all know the vibes. So I attract a certain vibe. Me and him go back and forth about this all the time. I attract a certain kind of female, and with him being so more, how would you say it?
So I went to school.
Tailored?
No,
Let's
I
say
went
that?
to school. I work in a professional field. I'm a therapist, right? So let me be clear. I work in a professional capacity where, I'm a trusted voice in certain communities. So I went to college. And I'm a trainer, so I stand professionally in front of people and teach people.
But we're talking about how you look when you go out and you bad.
All right. So let me be clear.
When you was in that situation.
All right. So let me be clear too. Cause of you, I'm dressed like this. Let's be honest.
What you mean?
I dressed like this because I knew you was gonna come the way you was gonna come with the big earrings. So I don't even wear earrings. I made sure I put my earrings on. I would have got.
That would make sense.
My bad, no disrespect. I tried, man. I tried. I keep it 1,000. I tried, but knowing that I knew how you was gonna come, I was like, I'm not gonna put on the button down with the jacket or a collared shirt.
Well, we can do that one day too. I don't mind. The earring's still gonna be there though.
So that's great. So yeah, but I mean, so when I say we running in different environments, I may be in more professional rooms. So. And because I'm more in professional rooms, the conversations appear to be different, right? So I don't know what environments, let me ask you, I want to turn the tables on you.
If I'm in the clubs, I'm, or we at the video shoot, so we at the, it's a different type of vibe. It's professional, but what he means is corporate. Not professional, but corporate. He's in that corporate environment, and I'm in the hip hop,
urban
kind of, you know, we say we trying to get away from that word, but you know, yeah, I know what we're trying to say.
Right. But let me be clear though. In the clubs, even in the clubs, I don't, you know, to be honest, women don't approach, right? So if a woman is approaching you, she's already interested, right? So she's already locked in. So in my mind,
they might not approach, but they'll give you that eye.
Okay.
They give you that vibe. They'll look at you for a long time. You know how that is.
Right. So, but when they approach, it's already locked in. So ain't nobody asking me about my assets because they probably already interested. Now, if I've ever approached a female, one thing I will say is a woman will ask you to buy her a drink. That's different. But somebody asks me what I drive in the club, I think it's too loud. I don't think we have moments to really talk or get into anything. So I ain't been in any situations where a woman straight up, flat out asks me my money. It's not really, I don't think the club is the conversation atmosphere. So most of the women that I probably talked to in the clubs, it wasn't even that deep to get into assets. So you saying though, in your world, women is asking you.
Well, it depends on the conversation.
You
know, there's sometimes where they don't. You know what I mean? A lot of times they don't. Sometimes, you know, I get that, oh, hey, what do you drive? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm so flashy, I might come to the video shoot looking a certain way. But what do you drive? You know what I mean? So, you know, that's not I wouldn't say that's a common question that I get all the time when, you know, it's the bagging session going on. But it is a question that gets asked or you know, where do you live, or do you own your home, or you know, do you rent or own? You know, sometimes I get that. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's
but think about
that's
that.
When we have conversations. Where you live? What do you do? Okay, you know, and then we get into that. That's certain conversations. It's just not the second question. Like, what's your name? What do you drive? That's different. That's a what the fuck? Like that's I'll probably curse her out too. Get the fuck out of here. You sound dumb. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So you know, what do you drive? That's not really a common thing. I think once a woman that I'm encountering, because I've been going to school and doing my professional thing for like over 10 years. So this is not, you know, I've been clubbing the whole time, over 15 years actually. So I think once they start hearing about professional stuff, I think they don't think to ask those questions because they may be a level of intimidation. And maybe with you presenting earrings, blinged out watch, blinged out chain, so automatically it's almost like, what other perks do you have?
Money. They're thinking about the money.
It's all right. So maybe you may be getting approached in that manner because of that, but me personally, I'm not walking around flashy. I may have maybe designer things on or high fashion things on, but it's not really a cause for somebody to ask me what I'm driving, because probably if we're in the middle of a conversation and we talk about what I do for a living, I think they automatically think I may have things, and maybe they don't want to, you know,
they don't want to look a certain way.
Disrespectful question, right? Yeah. So
they're too comfortable with me to ask me that question.
Or you too upfront with the flash. So your flash is telling people like, yo, what do you got?
I talk clear too, you know. Well, I'll leave that alone. But
all right, so let's dig into it. What did you think? I mean, I know you said that, you know, what you heard resonated with you, but what was it about the content? Like, tell me in terms of the content, what are you thinking? Do you believe that what they're saying is true within the content?
I do. That's why I posted it. And the content spoke to me loudly because I always felt like, we always talked about this. Why is it that nowadays so much that a black, to me in my mind, I watch a lot of documentaries and things of that nature.
Don't filter it. Talk your shit, boy.
And I just want to make sure they know it's not coming from me. You know what I mean? A little bit not coming from me. But I watch these documentaries where, you know, we used to stick together so much, you know, the black woman and the black man, because we had, and we had to grow together. We had to build together before the mixing came along where you can, you could really actually look at a black woman could look at a white man and say, I want to be with him, and wanting to actually be with him. So for me, in my mind, also, I don't know, I just love my black women, bottom line. So I never looked at going anywhere else. I might have, felt like, okay, I'll rag that out. But besides that, it's nothing like, you know, connecting the root. I gotta have that connection with you. We gotta have that, the traditional, you know, things of that nature.
Are you saying you're a man of relationships? Wait, hold on. What are we talking about here?
When I am in relationships.
Oh,
when it does catch me and captivate me, when a female does captivate me to that point where I want to get into a relationship with her. There's been a few nowadays, like I said, where my generation, we're in a different generation where everybody's worried about me. It's not.
Hold on, you pussyfooting around, man. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question from your perspective,
okay?
Right? From your experience. Do you believe that women have a reason to be this I don't need a man independent thing? Like, do you think that that's just irrational or that's some like delusion that women got? Where is that coming from?
Yes and no. Because the black females in general always felt like, you know, men, you know, nowadays they're saying that men get paid more than females, and there's been like a little bit of a pushback for that power. So yes, I'm glad that they got their independence in the way where they feel that they're empowered and they can do things on their own for the people that need to do it on their own. But nowadays it's such a I feel like they're trying too much to do it on their own when they don't have to do it on their own. And when they do it on their own, they equate the man, the black man, with a check. When they say I don't need a man because I got my own, that's what the number one thing with that video that spoke to me is like, what does that even have to do with that? What does that have to you to getting your own? You prospering and getting yourself in a situation where you can do better by yourself until you get a man. So it could be easier for you. I just didn't understand the part where we miscommunicated and fell off, where if a girl has her own, she doesn't need a man. That doesn't make any sense to me.
So, I feel you. I get you on that point. But, and I'm a man. You a man. So we two men on here talking about this. But I feel like we don't want to negate the female perspective. So I just want to add that flavor in there. But by no means am I like man bashing, because I'm a man myself and I hold myself up to the highest standards. But as a man, do you feel like men are making those commitments? So when you say something like they're looking at men as a check, are men? Is it that men are trying to commit to women and the women are just rejecting men, and they're pushing to just be independent?
Let me go into a little bit deeper on that too, as well. Females and males. Some guys out there, you hear Freddie? You hear Freddie out here bugging. All right, females and males, right out here. Some guys are playing games. Females are playing games. Both ends. So you ever heard that circle? I don't know if you ever saw that chart where a good girl messes with a bad guy messes with a good girl, and then the good girl gets messed over and she turns bad, and then she messes with a good guy, and then it's just a revolving circle that happens all the time.
Vicious cycle.
The vicious cycle.
Hurt.
The vicious cycle. That's what it is. So there's gonna be situations where there's some females that gets fucked over by these certain guys that just want pussy out the game. And there's gonna be some girls that guys get fucked over because they just want money out the game. So we've come to a point where it's like straight talk. I don't want none of that. I just want the bread. And he's like, that's what she's saying. And then he's like, I don't want none of that. I just want the pussy. So now it's becoming a transaction where I'm giving you the money, you just give me the pussy, and we just go our separate ways. And that's why OnlyFans is so popping right now. I know a couple of girls myself personally that made over $200,000 in 1 year off of OnlyFans subscriptions. So that'll tell you that we're in a state where everybody's just like, fuck you, pay me. If you want to see this, if you want to fuck with me, just pay me my money. You can go where you want. And that's where it's creating that division as well, because I got my money, I don't need a man. What does that have to do with you having a man? That's where it comes in.
Okay, so there's a couple of things going on though, right? So there's a couple of things going on. We got women are underpaid. There's inequality inside of the workforce. So women are finding, how can I leverage my sexual market power to make money, make ends meet, or even excel financially? And that's creating this whole buffer class of this independent woman, I don't need a man thing, because they're making enough money to kind of
Sustain
say,
for
I don't
themselves.
need your money. So, hold on, my brother. You the man that's flexing with the assets, right? So, when a man flexes his assets, isn't he flaunting on a woman that I got XYZ? And now if a woman is saying,
She's
can't
flaunting her
use
assets,
that,
literally.
right? Like financially and physically, right?
Facts.
You know, if she's saying, you know what, I'm tired of being underpaid by corporate America, so now let me get my assets up individually using something that men is easily manipulated by. Because don't get it twisted, women out here with OnlyFans, their subscriber base is probably a majority men, just paying them for whatever it is they're doing on that OnlyFans.
We already know what it is.
So they're leveraging.
I ain't gonna hold you either. I got about, I'm subscribed to about 20-something people right now. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? And why? Because we're just in that space where I gotta accept it.
No, wait. I beg to differ. No, let me say something.
All right.
I don't care. So there's two things going on. I think it's two things going on, and they being conflated. On one side, we got women leveraging their sexual market power to create business industries and make money and live the lifestyles that they imagine or whatever they want to do, right? That's one thing. And then there's relationships, right? So those are two different things. There's business and there's personal. So now, are we saying that because women are leveraging their sexual market power in the place, this is the reason? I mean, and that's one thing they were saying in the video: lesbianism, isolation. You know, those are some things happening in the video, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm all for women leveraging their sex in the marketplace, or their sexual power in the marketplace, to make money. Because in a system of capitalism where things ain't fair and women don't have a leg up, that is a power that they have, and for them to manipulate that for their own good, shout out to the women for doing that.
I agree.
Shout out to the
That's what
women
I
for
mean
doing
by
that.
I had to accept it. That's what I mean by I gotta accept it. Because what other cards besides, of course, they got some brains, but sometimes their brains won't let you in the room. Sometimes the way you look gets you in the room. Then when you show them the brains, they're like, oh, okay, wow. And then you go from there. But yeah, I agree with that. Out of all of the videos that I ever put up, I'm glad that video went viral, because that speaks to the nation of my people and us putting this thing back together, because they divided us at the end of the day. The system, and that's what we were talking about before. They created systems. So a lot of documentaries where they created systems for the black female to be independent and not need a black man. So that you not needing a black man and creating a single parent families, we all know single parent families are not the strongest.
Right.
They're not the best.
Right.
So and that's where I was coming from.
So I wanna make a couple of points, because what you're talking about is complex. It's a complicated thing. But yes, there's systems, white supremacy is real, right? There's systems in place to kind of maintain the white supremacist structure. And at the end of the day, everybody outside of the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant maintains that kind of structure. So yes, that's true. I do believe in systematic racism, systematic oppression. I do believe all of that is real. Yet when we're talking about black families, I think one of the highlights of that video was, I think it's also a message to the black man happening in there also, because as much as we want to talk about women being independent, I don't think that video should be taken as women are independent and they don't need men. Maybe it's a little bit of men got to step up, because maybe men are intimidated by women with this independent, dominant mentality, because you know, me and you, we know this better than everything. I think the game trumps it all. And game as in, you know, how you talk to somebody, how you're able to kind of connect and build with somebody. I think that trumps all. And sometimes women put up a facade of independence, and that can be very intimidating. And women, not for nothing, I believe, like confident men. So if a woman is saying I'm independent, I don't need a man, I think she's saying, what are you bringing to the table? Because I know you're trying to get sex out of the woman, right? Most men, we like physical, so we looking at women and
that's what we look at first.
Right, so we may be trying to get sex out of a woman. So these women out here that are, you know, Instagram models, baddies, whatever they call themselves, these women out here, they're you know, perpetuating a look, and a lot of men are intimidated by that, right? Or they just feel like they're out of reach and hard to get, and women are profiteering off of that look. And not for nothing, I think a lot of men appreciate the dominant woman, and that's why they're intimidated and they're a little passive towards them. But not for nothing, we all humans, right? We all fallible, we all got our own flaws, and I think all these baddies got their own insecurities, their own hurt, like you mentioned earlier, that cycle of hurt. You know, they got their own traumas that they've been through, and that's their own way of protecting themselves. Yet, I think that was the main message, is saying, you guys are so hurt that you're perpetuating this message of I'm an independent woman, and you're letting a lot of good men pass you by. Yet, I don't want to minimize the point that men out here scared. Me and you may be a little different, but there's a lot of men out here that's scared or intimidated by these type of women. So if men are intimidated by them, those women are probably not attracted to those men. So those women probably want somebody that's more confident, because we all know at the end of the day, potentiality, right? Your potential is greater than anything. Because if you got the right support system, the resources and tools around you, you can make unlimited amount of money, right? So, but you have to have that kind of confidence or that self-esteem or that self-awareness. And I think women are just empowering themselves, because hey, if you don't give yourself props, who else is going to give you props? And if they out here dominating, making, you mentioned somebody making that kind of money a month on OnlyFans, just making their bread, I'm kind of excited. A year, son. There's women out here making $100,000 a month.
That's a fact.
You know, that, so.
But all right. So let's talk about that though.